Hello, welcome everybody. My name is Daniel. I'm here with Driving Solutions, and today we are gonna go ahead and do another overview of our project so far. And we got a few updates to do and some database management. So stay tuned, and we will be getting started right now. All right. So yesterday we were creating some flows to activate our matches in our race for each match. And in one of the cases, we ended up with a loop that was creating 1,000 records, right? So we have a lot of these empty records that we're just going to go ahead and take care of right now. So as we can see, we have all these thousands of records here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a cleanup. So one easy way to clean up records is by using background scripts. Okay, so a background script is a script that you can run on ServiceNow by going to in your navigator. You can go to scripts background or just type in background, and you can find this scripts background here under system definitions. All right, and then this is going to allow us to run code, right? So just remember it's using ES5 JavaScript. Okay, and one good thing to have when working with ServiceNow is there's a plugin that you can install. It's called SNUtils, and you can just Google search for it, SNUtils, or you can go to this website right here, and this will allow you to download and install the SNUtils. So this utility connects with your instance. So if you're logged in as an administrator, you can perform many different commands. It gives you a lot of visibility to things. You can search. One of the things I used to use it a lot was search for sysid records, and it will find the sysid of a record, or find the record based on that sysid. So there's a lot of different commands. If you go here, there's commands that they have created to perform different actions. Okay, and the other thing that this does is it gives us this part here, this screen that will allow us to see our results without losing what we typed. Because normally when you use this background script, you always want to like copy the command when you run it, before you run it, because when you hit run script, it's gonna like take you to another screen, and then when you go back, this is gonna be all deleted. So yeah, this is definitely something that you want to install right away. Okay, so here on the right side, we're gonna see the results. All right, so I created this command or this script here. So basically, we are creating a new glide record, and we are running it on this table. So if you see, we are assigning this GR glide record of this table. So when we do gr.query, right, we're querying everything in that table, and then we are, while there's a next record, it's gonna go ahead and delete the record. Okay, so we want to clear all these records in here, so we're gonna like start over so we can do some testing. So we got over 1,000 records here, so you know we can delete like 10 at a time or 100 at a time. But if you have thousands of records that you want to clear out, this is probably the best way to do that. You can also do the same thing with a fix script if you want to control it better and see, you know, keep a record of it. But we just want to clear this whole table. So we're going to go ahead and run this on this table. Now to find the table name in App Engine Studio, if you go to your table, you can go here to the top right where it says properties, and then it's going to give you the table name right here. See? So it starts with X. So there is our table name. So we're going to go ahead here and we're going to make sure that we are in the right scope also. So we're in our right scope. And then we have record for rollback and cancel after 4 hours. That's just check marked by default. So we'll go ahead and run this. Okay, so when we run it, it's counting up. It's taking a few seconds. There's over 1,000 records to go through. So our script is running. All right, so it gives us the result. So that took almost 20 seconds. And then we get some logs here, but it looks like it deleted. So we have the deleted, and then we got some audit records here. All right, so it looks like it deleted all those records here. Okay, so if we go back to our table and we refresh, okay, so let's see if we can go into the preview. This is like the platform view. All right, so no records to display. Great. So we're going to do the same with our matches. So let's go ahead and just clear out all the matches. And by the way, when you are deleting like top level like parent tables, then there's also a way that you can create a script that will delete, like it will cascade down to delete the child records. Otherwise, you will have a lot of orphan records, what they call orphan records, which won't have any parent record. So then they will just be by themselves, right? So we don't want that. In this case, we're deleting everything, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, there is probably a better way to delete specific records, and if we want to handle the child records also. So maybe we can bring a video about that in the future. But for this case, we're just going to clear out everything so we can have a clean tournament view here. So once you have your application designed correctly, you definitely don't want to like delete records like this, because it could cause other issues, right? Also, if there's workflows involved, there's a command, it's called workflow false, right? Or workflow true. So if you set workflow false, I believe it is, it will not run any type of business rules. And that way, if there's anything else getting triggered when you create some of these when you do some of these actions, then it won't trigger any other business rules or flows. All right, so I'm trying to grab the right table. Okay, so we are going to put our match table. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and just run this. All right, so that was a lot less records here. We had about 24. Okay, so we deleted all of those. So if we preview this, it should be empty also. All right, so we got those empty. And let's see, we got track, we got tournament. All right, so tournament, we only got 2 records, so we don't need to create do that command. Now, just keep in mind that the numbers, like the next number, will still be like a high number, right? It won't start at the beginning again, because that's like this number field. If we create a new record, right, it start counting from, oops, like for example, if we go to the actual platform, it creates a new number, right? And see, it's continues counting up, right? Now, if you wanted to reset this number, I believe there's a way to do that. Also, there is a property that controls when this gets created, especially for like change records. I know that sometimes people will create a change record, or they will start creating a change record, but maybe they picked the wrong template, and it consumes one of these numbers even though you haven't saved it yet. So for example, if you started a change and you wanted a normal change instead of standard change, you know, it consumed that number already. So if you go back and you see the numbers, it would have skipped that number. And in some companies, they want to have consistent numbers of changes, right? So there is a property that will only create the new number once you actually save the record. Okay, so there is a property for that. So you can always look into some of that in the ServiceNow documentation. But yeah, there's all types of different properties out there, especially for all the core applications. So yeah, spend some time if you guys are working in change, incident, problems. There's a lot of defined properties for a lot of the features that you might be thinking before creating something custom. Always try to find things that are out of box. Okay. But in our case here, we're creating a scope application. This is all custom. Pretty much, we're limiting the functionality. So we're just using what we need to use. Okay. So we have our race table. It's empty. We got our track tables empty. We're gonna go ahead and delete these two. So we're gonna go ahead and create new tournaments, and we're gonna make these higher numbers because we were kind of like keeping it at a low number. Now we do need to add more cars, and I don't have any of my cars here, but we will eventually want to add more cars because, right, we will race more cars, and for example, to be more real. Let me know if you're interested in using any type of AI to create these vehicles, because maybe there could be a way that we can use like a photo of an image, right, of a car, and maybe it could do some type of search, and it could give us like the details of that car, right? So instead of us having to type it in manually, maybe we can just take a snap of the photo, and I know that there's some AI that will recognize, like for example, you know, from your phone, if you take a photo of a vehicle on Google, right, it's gonna like pull up that product, right? So it identifies that. So maybe we can create something like that. But still, like each car will belong to somebody, right? So we still will attach it to that driver, okay? Because people can have the same kind of car, but you know the person is not the same. Or maybe you have multiple of the same cars, right? But each car will have its unique number too. And what ways can we number or identify that car in the actuality, right? And that this one's number 15, and then this one's 65. They're the same car physically, right? But they're different race car, right? I've seen competitions that they have all of the same cars, right? They might look different, maybe they have different colors, but they're the kind of like the same model car, the same diecast. And we need to kind of like identify each one. And how can we do that smart, right? Can we have either a sticker that we put on it that has a number, a QR, it has RFIDs of sort, or multiple of the same, right? Maybe it can have a number so we can look at it and know which one it is, or we can scan it and definitely know which car it is, right? So those are some of the things we're thinking about. In this case, we did start, okay, so we did put, there is a few checkboxes that we added here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add it to this table here. So we did add whether or not they were champion, how many matches. Okay, so this one actually we need to fix this because this one is like a string. So let's update that. Oops. We're gonna update this match field to make it integer. So we want to count up how many races they actually are running, right? So I thought about this one, and we can one of the flows where they race and there's a winner out at the beginning, we can just count both vehicles that are in that match as the races, right? How many races they race in total, and then how many of those races they won, right? So these two numbers are going to give us like a win percentage, right? And then how many matches they win. So this is like the match in general, like how many times they move up. Okay. And I think that's it. Now the points, I'm still debating how we do the points. It kind of depends because I mean they could be different kind of races, and then you get points for each kind of race. I know that a lot of YouTube races where there's 4 cars, you know, number 1 gets 4 points or 5, and then they go down from there, right? So if it's a 2-person race, then like, are you getting 4 points or are you getting 1 point, right? So we need to kind of like determine, and that might be based on the tournament. But if we're racking up points for the lifeline of that car, then how are we basing the point? How are we weighing if it's a tournament, if it's a 4-lane race, if it's a different kind of race? Like, does every win get 1 point no matter what? Does every win get 4 points no matter what, right? So we can see how that point system works. But we'll revisit that in the future if we can retroactively assign points based on wins. But as far as our vehicles are concerned, I think this is good. You know, maybe in the future we can have a gallery of the photos. Maybe, I don't know. But let's leave it like that. Let's not complicate it too much. Now I'm just going to update our form here. So we have these new fields. So if we see, now we have match wins, we got race wins, right? And definitely we can create a dashboard that's going to give us all these details. Okay, so stats, I think the weight is not like that type of stat here, so we'll go ahead and put that over there. So we'll put this like that. Okay, so it's going to be the highest points in the match race. Okay, I think this is good. All right, so if we go back to the beginning now, the next thing we need to do is to determine where the winners go, right? So we need to create something that's going to tell us who are the winners of that round, and it's going to like put them in some type of list so that when that list is done, it creates the new matches for the next round. And then we also need to think about when we set up a tournament, right? We have this thing is called a double elimination, right? So the double elimination will put another list of the people that lost, right? And then they're gonna be in a different list where they will either compete against themselves or they will compete against the next round losers. The winners of those from the loser team are going to compete against the losers of the second round, right? So that's how that usually works. So we got to think about how we can do that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a new tournament. Okay. And I'm just going to make this one 16. Okay. So that way we have a bigger bracket. So this is going to be App Engine Studio 16. Okay. And then we'll go to that same track here. All right. We'll just go ahead and pick a date. So the date really doesn't do anything for us yet. Oh, you know what? Actually, we are going to create this from our catalog, right? From our record producer. So the easiest way I know how to get there is from here. But we got these to create our assets, or our records. We got some of these record producers. So this one's kind of straightforward. But I just wanted to show you that for this one, we have pretty much the same fields, right? But here, see, we can only pick these numbers, right? And then we have wins to advance, okay? And then we pick from our hot tracks, okay? So basically that creates our tournament, okay? So we don't have the image, right? We can put an image in there. So I'm wondering, how do we add image in the record producer? Oh, and we don't have our competitors in there neither. So there's two things we want to do for this record, or for this form view, is that if we pick a number here under cars, and then competitors, we can only add up to that number of competitors, right? So we should have like a count, and then we can't start the tournament until we have that count, right? And then how can we add bulk? I don't know how to add more than one at a time. What is this? Oh, right here. That's how we can add more than one. Okay, so we still need, we only got 9, right? So we need 5 more. Okay, so let's add a couple more and see if we can add it from here, or I'm just gonna go ahead and save this. All right, this is not gonna be double elimination, single elimination. I'll go ahead and save this. See, like this we need to know how many cars we got in here, because if we have like 60 cars, we want to know exactly like this number right away without having to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, so we want to know how we can use this number here, this 16, and in this list to be kind of like working together, right? So that's a good question. Maybe that we'll leave that for the next video, but if you have any ideas, definitely let me know in the comments. Now, I'm going to go ahead and open up another window. And we're going to go back to our catalog items. And we're going to add a car. So from our record producer, so we can take a look at that. So this record producer, pretty simple also. So we can assign it to oh look, in this one I was able to add a photo thing for the car actually. Why am I adding photo of me? But yeah, we can assign this to a driver from here. And we can assign our and then we can pick from one of these types of cars. So I'm gonna add a 1985 Lotus. I'm not sure if that's a real car. And then the weight, we need to weigh these cars. So the weight, you can create races by weight also. Now see how it didn't upload the photo. So even though we uploaded the photo, it didn't attach the photo. So I'm still trying to figure out how we can do the photo from the record producer. All right, but we'll go ahead and just leave it like that. And then we'll go ahead and go back to our record producer. And it still has the old information. Huh? So we're gonna go ahead and alright, so we're just adding some random cars here. We actually need more drivers. We only got 3 drivers, so each person will be a driver, right? So if we wanted to add a new driver, let's take a look at that catalog item for that. So we got add a new driver. I'm gonna add myself here. This one's pretty simple also. Now we got some so we have what is called a user ID. Okay, so this user ID actually will become the username, and then you can add like a city, and then you can pick whatever type you are. Okay, so that added our new driver. As simple as that, we have our driver, and this actually creates a new record. And see, it took us to our user table, right? Which is type driver, class driver. And see, we do have like an email that goes in there, and they are active. And if we refresh here, we are also part of a group. And it put us with that user. Go here, we are part of the Hot Tracks drivers. Okay, so that way we can easily apply those permissions, and people should be able to see the records, right? So I believe we might need to revisit our portal. We don't even have a portal created yet, but I'd like to have a portal where they can see all this information and all the basic things they need to know. And one more record producer we're gonna take a look at is our track. Okay, so if we wanted to add a new track, we can definitely do it from here. And all it has is the name, the length, and what city it's from. You know, we can add more stuff here in the future, but we'll just keep it like that. We do have only 10 cars, so I think we need to add a few more. So I'm just gonna go into our list here. We're gonna add these two that we added. What was that? We added 2. So we got 11. We need 5 more. Okay. So I am just gonna quickly add a few blank cars here. Star. So if you notice, this one's in the future. Okay, 3 more. Okay, give me a car, somebody. So actually the title, I think the title gets updated from the model and the year. So we have so car numbers can be letters too, I believe. Obesity. Odyssey. Odyssey. How do you spell Odyssey? I don't know. All right. I am super. All right. So let's make these cars a little bit more realistic here. I think I need one more car. Let's see. Raptor. Okay. Let's see how many cars we got now. Okay, one more. My favorite one here. Classic. Ford Tempo. This was one of my first cars, 1997 was it? Okay. It doesn't tell us how many. See, so that count is kind of important because I don't know how many cars we got now. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 cars. What? All right, we got to get rid of 2. So let's get rid of F1 supercar and the Odyssey. Yes. Okay. So this should be correct. Should have 16 now, I believe. So yeah, how do we add a count? We need to add a count, and then that count needs to be the same as this. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and be ready. Okay, and then we should create like a UI action, right? So if we wanted to create a UI action here, this is how we can create a UI action. So we're gonna go ahead and do UI actions. So UI action is basically a button that you can put code behind it, right? So I can have conditions. So let's create this UI action. Let's call it start tournament. Start tournament. So it's not going to show an insert. Show update. Sure. And it's a button. And okay, let it be a button. Start flow to in tournament. Make sure. Okay. All right. So the condition. All right. So the condition should be. All right. This part's always tricky for me. The condition should be. Okay. Let's put here. Condition should be 1 cars in turn to state. Okay, I think those are 2 conditions I can think of. So this is gonna update current um All right. Let's see. Let's see if ChatGPT knows how to do something like this. Okay. Create UI answer. Current state. Okay. So I think something like this might work. But we're talking about, okay, so let's go back to, this is in tournament, right? And we have the state, tournament state. We got in progress, tournament state in progress. State. Okay, let's see if that works. So in progress like that. Is that all it needs to do? All right, and then we get a redirect. All right, so check. All right, yeah. So let's try this. So we have this start tournament UI button. We will add the conditions shortly. Like, see, it could be by rule. All right, so we have our button here. Okay. If you click on this, tournament is now in progress. Okay. So if we go back, and it says ready, but it's not in progress. No. Okay, so we don't want this to just go away like that neither. So let's go back in here. So we did get the message. Oh, you know what? If you're not sure about UI actions, right? One way to kind of like see how UI actions are created is just look at other UI actions, right? So if we go here, let's see, UI actions. Okay, so we got UI actions or UI actions. All right, so here's tons of UI actions. Let's see which one. We're gonna take a look at a few because so in this one the condition has roles. Okay, so change from UI current is implemented available. And then we have okay, so see this is what we needed. Gform set value. Okay. We need something like this. So see this is a function that says gform set value and get form element. Oh. That updates action set direct. Huh. All right, so this is one kind of UI action. This one looks request approval. So see that they set them up like this. You know what? I'm gonna copy that. Take a look at a different one. Okay, has that set abort. You know, if you can put a condition that will abort it, right? So maybe the condition to abort is like if the number of doesn't match, right? We can set that abort there. You can call script includes, right? So I think that redirect, we don't want it to redirect it to somewhere else. We want it to kind of stay there. So see, set redirection URL current. So that I think that's gonna keep it here. So we're just going down the list, but I think we got the gist of it. All right, here's one, index all tables. Oh my gosh. So, no. Uh-huh. Yeah, so we can take a look at some of these UI actions to help us kind of like set up our button here. Okay, look at this one. This one's called, so we know that this action set redirect will keep you on the page. And then we can use like a set abortion true if the condition is not met to cancel that. Okay. So I'm just gonna go back to our UI action here. Okay, here it is. So let's see. State model. Yeah, so I don't think this is, we can use this because I think this is calling on something else here. G form set value. So we're gonna try this. I'm gonna do um tournament. Oh, maybe that's why it didn't work. So I misspelled this. So let's see if this will set the value and update it. Okay, so it's in ready. I'm gonna refresh the page so it picks up the new code. So our UI action is should still be in there. Let's see. Okay, we got start tournament. We got our vehicles. It's ready. We'll click on that. Went away. And it did not do anything. Nope. All right, let's try this one because I had misspelled. So in progress. All right, come on, do it. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Oh, all right, there it is. Okay, so we got state is in progress. It remain on the page. And if we refresh, all right, we got our list here. Awesome. So we got all of our races. We got 8 matches. And if we go into one of these matches, we got 2 races that are ready to go. All right, so let's say we did this one. And we got our times in here. So see, we can create another UI action here to lock in the times. Okay, so if we reload, right, so we got our winner. Okay, so if we go back up, oh, you know what happened? Okay, so I just figured this out yesterday also. So our wins is, so when we look at the flow, it's not counting because it's like empty, right? It's a null value. So one way to really fix this quickly is that we set a default value for these of 0, right? So if we set default value of 0, then our flow should work again. Okay? Because our counts were not showing up because of that. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna go back into the race table. And we're going to set up default values of 0 for these counts, right? Because our flow is taking that number and adding a 1, but for some reason it doesn't, it's not 0, so it can't really perform that action effectively, and that's what's happening. So anytime there is a number, we're gonna set it to 0 default value. Okay, so we have our default value. It's going to use 0. Okay. And then we have, okay, so see this one has default value here. We're going to do, okay, so actually this is not, it's in the match table actually. So we go to match. And these are like the counts of how many times you won, how many races. So we're going to initialize this with 0 also. We got our wins, default value of 0. So everybody starts at 0. Did that? Okay, that took it there and I put it. See that? So weird. And see here in the flow, we kind of like putting the so we got wins. Actually, it's not even here. It's in the wheels place, but we'll go ahead and put it here too. So we have initial values for those. So like in the flow, we're setting it to an actual variable because we're using it as a count, but if we're trying to get it from the database and we're trying to just add 1 to it, then it cannot be nothing. It has to be something. So we are going to initialize those with a default value of 0. All right, this is where we want it to go. Okay, so here, if we go here, we got default value. Let's do 0. And then we have races win, 0, and then races, 0. And then points, let's start the points at 0, 2, 0. Okay, so we got matches 1, 0. Races win, 0. Races, 0. And points, 0. So everything's zeroed out. Okay. Okay, so if we go back to our test here, right, this last one he won. Okay, that should have done that. So we'll go ahead and mark that. Then we're gonna go to the second race, right? And then here, I'm gonna go ahead and add the times again. And our poor Ford Temple did not do any better. And we'll just update that. So we have the winner. And now, okay, so now it counted, see? Boom. And now it's completed. And now, and we have the match winner too. Look at that, boom. All right. So, you know, fastest time, then we'll have to kind of like look at these times. Actually, they have the same exact time here. But yeah, fastest time, we want it to kind of like know that will be the fastest time. Cool. All right. So if we go to our next match, so we should be able to know. Okay, so here, if we look at this list here, we want to lay out. Let's see. Oh, match winner. See, we can do that. That way we know if they won. All right, so this kind of like gives us like it's completed, right? Yeah, that looks pretty good. So if we run this race now, got lane 1, what's lane 2? We got our first racer here. He did pretty good. This one also did quite good. Not good enough. So we save it. So our flow ran. We refresh. We got our winner. We go back up. Huh. So I'm thinking maybe we gotta create the tournament again because I created the records with blanks, right? So let's go and we're gonna start. Actually, we're just gonna delete everything from here. This what we were talking about, the orphan records. I don't think it cascades down. Okay, so we're just gonna go back to ready. All right, let's start the tournament again. In progress. Okay, our flow should have run. We got the matches again. Okay, so now the wins are zeroed out. That's what we want to see there. We go to our first race. Oops. Another condition we can set on the form is these two lanes can't be the same. You know, if you set one, then the other one should be the other one. We got our times. All right, so we update that. Takes us back. All right, so if we refresh. All right, we got our winner here. Great. We go to our next race. They swap lanes. Okay, this one did a little bit better. Okay. Our flow ran. Okay, this one now has 1 and 1. What happens here? Oh, okay, so now, all right, so now we're not getting the, so, all right, so this is something we need to fix on the flow. How do we get the third race, right? How do we get the third race? So if we take a look at our flow here really quick, where can we find our flow? So this should have been the Great Match Races. Let's see. So in this case, we have the stages match, right? They have 2 wins to advance. They both have one win. Okay. So if we look at our flow, has condition that says that if that's not empty, is that not empty? If it's match and the title's not empty, so this should have run here, right? Let's see. So we do have a title. Okay, everything's fooled. It's match, right? So let's see what happened with this flow. So, and then, oh, it says run once. Huh. Okay, so we need to do run for every update. Yeah, because maybe it doesn't evaluate it right away, right? So it needs to evaluate it several times. I think it just then never ran or ran. Well, I don't know. Is it running? Oh, look at that. It's running all the time. Oh my gosh. So it's running too much. because it's running every time there's we create a match. So we need to fix that condition better, right? Um, oh, actually, no, because it creates the matches for us, so that's good. It's gonna run. But then, oh, but this doesn't do anything. Actually, this is not. Okay, this one's good. This one, there's no problem with this. This is what creates our matches. But I think I was looking for the one that will create the match. This is update match winner. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, I think this is where we moved it to. So on the update match winner is if create race is needed. Okay, so in this case we have okay, so if the racer have not won yet, so everything was false. Oh. Oh, but see, this is nothing. So CRC was nothing. So what happened with the CRC, huh? What the heck? So, all right, so something's wrong with this count. So if we go to our match, and we add our CRC, oh, so that's okay. So see the match. Okay, so let's go to fields, and we need to put a default here too. This one, see, default was nothing. So I think that was the issue here. Okay. I think if we go back and we redo this whole thing again. Okay. So let's go back to our tournament. We're gonna open our tournament. I'm gonna clear it out once again. Gonna put it back to ready. All right. Start a tournament. All right, we got our tournament. We're gonna go ahead and start our first race. Okay, in this case, the Toyota one. Whoa. Now it's creating too many records. Huh. All right, so yeah, that condition here is no good. So I think we need to either separate that logic to its own flow or make the condition better. That's the update match winner. So this one ran here. Eh? Oh. I wonder where those extra matches come from. Oh, you know what? Never mind, because these are old. Yeah. Oh, because we didn't delete the previous ones. Okay. All right. I don't know why it went all the way over there, but all right. So actually, let's try it with one that it's not gonna give us this weird setup here. These should have no records here. Okay, great. Testing. All right, so the Civic should win. Oh, no, it's actually creating these matches for some reason. I don't get it. I think it's some of these are orphan records, it looks like. So we might need to kind of like redo this whole thing. Yeah, still tons of work to get done. So we will go ahead and update this for our next video, correct some of these flow errors. But today we did learn how to create our UI action, how to delete some records with our script, and work on our flow for default values so the counts are actually working. All right, so if you like what you see, if there's anything I can improve, just please let me know in the comments, and hope to see you in the next one. All right, take care. God bless you.